First of all, great to see you back. Is this early? I feel like you only started riding not too long ago. So is this a little touch and go, maybe way ahead of schedule?
I would say it was kind of where we thought it would be from the time frame I got the pins out of my thumb. So I had pins in my thumb for, it was around 7.5 weeks, 7 weeks, somewhere in there from the surgery date. And then they pulled the pins out. Then I got to wait around for a couple weeks for like things to just heal again, right? And then I was able to get on my motorcycle. So made sure I was able to get in my full distance motos at home, you know, training. And this was about the right time frame for us.
Was the whole recovery process longer, more tedious than expected, or was it about as planned?
I would say it was longer than I expected. I mean, the doctors tell you when they're obviously going to pull the pins out, but you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get these out around like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, but it turned into like 7.5 weeks of the pins in there stabilizing my joint. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, yeah, it was an unfortunate deal, like to be down that long. It's a pretty tough recovery. Like, people just think your thumb, but it's a tough recovery.
I'm sure you started back on a turn track, so how long have you been actually motoing down for?
So I started out riding just full laps. Like, I waited to where I had good enough strength to do that, but my initial problem was just endurance. Like, the first day I only made it like 40 minutes, you know, and like then my thumb was done. So really it was just building endurance on that thumb.
Obviously there's no way to tell how this is going to go. It's your first race back. It would be silly to expect too much. Are you a guy who can kind of take whatever's on offer? Like, if you're riding around in 7th, are you going to be able to stay relaxed, or are you kind of, does the competitive side take over?
I won't be happy with 7th. So my mind right now is like shooting for podium. That's like, yeah.
And last thing, obviously SMX is coming up. That's a priority. How much of a priority is the Nations for you?
Well, I think that really comes from these. Once I have these 2 weekends, you know, of racing buds and then an Ironman, you know, then it's like, hey, you know, do you get the call and am I feeling good? But it's just unknown, right, until we race.
But if it's possible, you 100% want to go, you'll sign up in a heartbeat.
I think so. Yeah. But let's race, see how we finish first.
This is a big catch-up, so I don't even know where we even start. So let's start here. I feel like this is going just fine for you. Considering everything, I feel like maybe the average fan is being a little overly critical, but then I know you can do that to yourself as well. So on the meter of where you're at, what you expect, how do you feel about the way this has been going?
Man, it's been tough, but like also it's been going good. Like, just to be at the races, I've kind of gotten past that point of like expectations and just wanting to be better each week. I don't put a number on it. Like, obviously I want to be top 10, I want to be closer to the front, but given where my arm is right now, taking like an 8th last week was like a win for me, you know. So from you look back to round 1 and I was 15th, and then I slowly built up to here. Man, I gotta be like pumped with it, and then know that I still have more to give, you know.
In a way, is it mentally harder to accept this situation? Because when you're on the couch, you're like, well, I can't do anything anyway. Whereas here, you're putting your gear on, you're going through the motions the same way you were doing when you were podiuming, winning, and it's just not quite the same. So is that harder to kind of get your head around a little bit?
It was at first, but knowing the circumstances and looking down on my elbow and seeing how mangled that thing is, like, I still have stitches in my arm right now. So it's like people, if I took my jersey off and showed you my arm, people would be like, what the hell's wrong with that arm, you know? So like, I'm riding like in pain for most of it, but now it's starting to get better, and like seeing improvement that way makes me happy. So I get joy in riding a little bit different nowadays, but like, I'm just excited to keep building it and getting it stronger, because I know next year is a big year for me, and wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to be racing, and we'll see.
Should you really be racing at this point? Like, obviously you kind of need to for the team, you want to be out here, but in an ideal world, would a doctor be telling you to sit on the sidelines and continue to heal?
Probably, yeah, but when the doctor says, hey, your elbow's not going anywhere, you just need to get the muscle, that's where I'm like, all right, let's go race. And the only way to get the muscle in is to be racing or riding every day. So it's frustrating as hell, I'll tell you that. Like, I wish I was 100%, but I'm far from there. But there is a chance that I can get back to that point.
Last thing, you just said next year is going to be big for you. How do you view, not as far as like where you're going to ride, but how do you view next year as far as your position in your career?
Like, I don't want to just settle. I don't want to settle where I'm at. Like, I'm not happy with just a 10th or 11th place guy. I want to be, man, I do think I'm a top 5 guy. And if I can consistently do that, then there should be no chance, like no reason I shouldn't be out there. So, man, I love this sport too much to step away right now. Like, I want to keep going and keep digging. Like, I love the grind of trying to be better each week. And yeah, so some exciting stuff coming soon, so I'm pumped.
First things first, are you really surprised that you need to race these races? Because I feel like from early on, it was clear that it was going to be tight, but your social post sounded genuinely surprised.
Yeah, so here we are, Budds Creek. Really, I raced Brazil last weekend, and I thought I'd be way out of points, and I wouldn't have to do these outdoors. And then I look at the points, and I'm 6 points behind Chiz, and so it's just kind of funny. Like, I have absolutely zero prep. I don't even have a bike at home to ride. It's on a truck, the Stan Benson racing truck brought it. So I'm really just coming off the couch and winging it here. Just going to rely on old True Grit to beat the number 11. And yeah, because if I beat him and I get 20th in SMX points, then I don't have to go to LCQ every weekend. That's all I'm trying to do, is avoid the LCQ. And doing these 2 races will help with fitness and everything going into SMX.
Do you feel like it's really like worth your commitment to do SMX in this way? Like, is SMX that big a deal for you at this point?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Is it that big of a deal? I mean, honestly, last year it didn't go too great, and I still made 42 grand. So I think that's a lot of money, and it's, you know, it's going to be this. The way I'm looking at it, this is probably going to be my last time ever doing any outdoor or SMX or anything. So might as well do it, and there's good money involved with it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a crack and hopefully get that top 20 mark, and then I can just go to SMX, not stressing on LCQ every weekend.
Yeah, because it says a lot about how important this is, that you are willing to put in the effort to come here. You're spending money to be here. Like, if this was even a little bit irrelevant, it wouldn't be worth any of this work.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. It's definitely a lot of work to come and do this, but at the same time, like I said, it's very good for my fitness. Going into SMX, you know, I just gotta suffer. Gonna have to suffer pretty good in the next couple of races. But hey, I don't mind to suffer, and hey, it's racing. I've got to just have fun and enjoy it. Do
you feel like this should go better than Washougal?
I think it will go better than Washougal. I struggled at Washougal. There was just something there I didn't really, didn't jive with. So here I quite like this track, and I think I'll be better off on this track. I mean, we'll just see how the heat is, though, because I haven't been in the heat in a while.
Last thing, I've always heard that Brazil is great money. So how does it compare to Australia, Europe, WSX, all of the other money?
Oh, as in the riders get paid? Yeah, so no, I just got back from Brazil, and you asked about how is it paid, and it's really, really good, honestly, for racing in Brazil. So I've got my little loophole, you know what I mean? I've got a little loophole that I'm doing that's working well. And, you know, compared to Australia, yeah, the money's really good in Brazil, so that's all I'm gonna say. But it's been good. I really enjoyed going over there, and the people are very, very nice and welcoming. And yeah, just enjoy visiting different countries, and just gonna have fun with it the next couple years.
First of all, where are you at after last week? Obviously, the first moto crash was gnarly. You pulled out early into the second moto. What was the reason for that? Was it a normal week of testing, or are you still a little bit battered and bruised?
No, I feel good right now. The second moto is just, I was still a little banged up from the first crash, and dude, it's just Unadilla's a gnarly track if you're not all there, and you know, for me it was just I have a lot more in the future than to go risk a second moto and get, you know, top 10. So I just pulled out of it, and the team was happy with the decision. But yeah, I took it off this week, got all checked out, got diagnosed, and yeah, we're good. Rode Wednesday a little bit, felt good. Got to test a little bit. Luckily, had a test planned for this week, so finally got to, you know, test a little bit. So, you know, coming into this weekend, feel really good. I'm just excited to come to a new venue again. Unadilla was new for me last weekend. The Buds is new for me this weekend. So yeah, different types of dirt. I like it. I'm excited. So hopefully, you know, we'll try and recreate Unadilla before I crash. So,
what did you test this week? And whatever it was, did it work? Was it an improvement?
I've been searching a little bit all summer just for just shock settings and just trying to find something that's, you know, a little stiffer but not too stiff. But just sticking with the base stuff this week. I know how that stuff works to a T, so I know how to manage it and know how to work around the stuff that I don't really like. So yeah, it'll be good.
Unadilla didn't end as planned, but honestly, qualifying those first couple of laps, I feel like you can still leave there and be like, that was the best ride of my career, no doubt. So it looks negative, but it's all positive, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, I was pissed. Like, I was really upset just because it's like I felt like that was my day to go 1-1, and I think everyone knew it too. You know, just my speed was really good, and my first couple laps I was super explosive, and I feel like Chance again, you know. So yeah, it was a bummer for sure, but yeah, it honestly just gave me a lot of confidence knowing that, you know, I can do that. You know, it's in there, it's in me. So yeah, we'll make it happen again eventually. Hopefully this weekend, but you know, eventually we're getting there. So missed a lot of good things last year from being hurt, but I mean overall, trying to get back to where I feel like I should have been earlier this year. So
you say you were struggling with comfort all season. So were you comfortable in those opening laps at Unadilla, or did you still feel less than 100%?
I felt really comfortable. I feel like my bike was actually working really good there. You know, the long ruts, my bike was really planted and working really well. So, yeah, I think, well, you know, it differs from track to track overall, but I mean, it should be good.
Last thing, how much discussion has there been about you and the Motocross of Nations? Have you spoken to the team, the AMA? Has there at least been a discussion?
I've expressed my interest. I'll say that. I don't really know where they stand right now, and it was looking really good last weekend until it wasn't. So yeah, I don't know where we really stand on that. But obviously, if the offer is there, I'm taking it 100%. I'll never turn it down. So unless, you know, I have an injury or something, but yeah, I'll never turn it down. So we'll see.
Okay, first things first. Nice and simple. Should you be here? Is this way too early, or is this okay?
Redbud would have been insane if I actually showed up there, which was pretty crazy to even think I possibly could. They said 8 to 12 weeks from the surgery, and I think we're at about 13, 14 right now. I don't think it's crazy. It'll be crazy if I pull something special off this weekend, because I'll be honest with you, I have not had that much time on the bike, and this week I rode Supercross. I rode SMX Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, I have 2 solid motos on a 90% Supercross track. Haven't even really rode with this suspension setting much, but your kind of guess is as good as mine this weekend. Like, I'm here to kind of take everything in and try to be better for Charlotte.
Yeah, this is all about shaking off the rust ahead of Charlotte, right? If SMX wasn't a thing, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, more than likely I would not be here. Even though, like, Buds has treated me well in my career. Like, I love this place. And I don't know what it is, just I figure things out a little bit easier here. But yeah, I cannot have that mindset coming into tomorrow. Like, they've already told me, like, look, if you get a start and something happens, great, but you're not gonna do anything kind of spectacular outside of your bubble. So that's what I'm trying to do this weekend. It's gonna be tough, to be honest with you, but I need to stay in my bubble, not really worry about everything else. Try to get some time in. Hey, heck, honestly, right now it's getting some motos in. So if I can get 230s in, like, that's a huge step for me.
Are you the type of guy who can, like, accept that? Like, or when the gate drops, are you gonna lose your mind a little bit and want too much? Or can you ride around and be like, this is fine, I'm okay, I'm just doing laps?
Any year prior to this, there's no way I could do that. Right. But I did win a championship not that long ago, and I have a future kind of set up right now with my deals. So yeah, I should be okay with that. And man, to be honest with you, it was kind of tough to talk people into even me coming out here to race. Like, Alden told me last week, he's like, Nate, your stock is high right now. If you go out there and get smoked, like, it's gonna drop. Well, like, I'm a racer, so it's like, look, if that's where I'm at right now, like, I can take that on the shoulder. Like, I'm okay with that. I know I can get back to being at that winning level. So yeah, don't take too much from this weekend.
Well, I guess if you have that mentality of not wanting to expose yourself, you could kind of second guess yourself for 90% of your career, because there's always an issue, whether it's major or small. So you kind of need to have your attitude of just being like, fuck it, let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm okay with getting my ass kicked this weekend. Like, that's how I am. If I can learn anything, we have different parts on my bike that I didn't race Supercross with, so I really want to get the feel of it coming out of the gate with that. Man, yeah, I'm here to be better at Charlotte, be better for Charlotte. If I can pull off an awesome result, yeah, that'd be sweet. But it's just kind of crazy, like, you know, you're always showing up and you're confident in yourself. You're going to go out there and, you know, win. I always say I can win. This weekend, like, man, I wanted to even, like, talk crap coming in here, but it's like I can't say too much because I don't want to, then go out there and get smoked. So I wish I was in a little bit better spot to do that, because, I mean, I feel like I could get some things kind of fired up. But hopefully we can save that for Charlotte.
You said you've got new parts. What sort of parts are we talking about, and where should you see an improvement?
I mean, I feel like I've rode with the 2 weeks that I've been back on the bike. Just kind of opens up the airflow, I think, a bit more. I feel like I have a bit more power to it. Also, my clutch is quite a bit different than what I've been on. So my starts have been really good back home, but you don't know until you get to the races. So that's what I really need, some gate drops right now with, you know, my normal class.
Last thing, is there any part of you being here that has something to do with the Motocross of Nations? Are you trying to open yourself up to that opportunity?
I mean,
the smile says it all.
Yeah, yes and no. Like I said, if I can pull something off this weekend, I think that goes to show I can represent the USA pretty well. But I'm not in any position right now to make that call. Like, man, I have one 30-minute moto on an outdoor track leading up to this race. I've been running, dude. I've been running nonstop, like, a lot of miles. So I don't think my fitness is bad, but also that riding fitness is different than just normal fitness. So we'll see. I mean, heck, if you see me fading, I hope that you guys can kind of take that and be okay with it, like, because I'm gonna be okay with that this weekend. So we'll see. Heck, I mean, I'll be surprised, just as surprised of you guys if I can pull something off this weekend.